Hello viewer and welcome to Captain TV and to a program I Can Make It, your program of choice. I am your host Elijah Kaka.
They don't see anybody with disability.
They now
the disability now is not the focus. It's just the farm. And they start to ask even to the student. But now they are farmers because now they are, the first group is now, it was employed by the center. So now they are farmers. They have their contract, their salary, they are saving their money. Now people start to talk about them.
Our dream as an institution is to see an inclusive society without discrimination, and we want to work together with our community, especially children and families.
At times, you will hear some people asking you very weird questions, like somebody can ask you, "Mtoto ana kichwa mbaya," and that is really, the stigma.
Today in our program, we focus at an event that has been organized by Orione Community Training Centre that has been organized here at Kandisi in Ongata Rongai in Kajiado County. Join us and welcome.
We work with our students in three main areas of education, where we use a special program called an individualized educational plan that is meant to help them achieve their individual needs. We also have habilitation and rehabilitation that is also aimed at making them independent and self-reliant. We have vocational training in farming to promote inclusion and also self-reliance, and they work on farm. And currently we have 16 of them that have graduated and are working with us actively.
Today, it's all about supporting the people with disabilities, helping them learn and grow them within the society. Our focus today is Orione Disability Expo, held this year in Rongai.
As members of the advisory board, we are very, very happy to be associated with Orione Center. The reason being that we have felt what the center is doing in this community. Most of us have grown up here. We know this center from the time we had one small Mabati house there that was the house of our catechist with a few animals. People who were here 10, 15 years ago, when they pass here, they do not recognize this place. The center, other than the impact that it has had on our children, which we appreciate very much, we are very grateful that you are a light or a leading example in sensitizing the community on what transformation is all about. It is not a job you're doing, it is a calling that you're doing. We pray that you continue with the same passion.
Let's take time and break down what Orione does to help children with disabilities.
Shika. There's some sound that it produces here. So that sound, he learns to hear what is coming from there. So that's how he learns. And they have got a diaper here. So when they come in the center, they have got no toilet skills. So I'm here to train them, at least to gain that skills. And another thing, I've got a radio here. Mostly what I do, I sing, I dance, I do every sorts of things. I take that environment from home back to here so that they feel more comfortable, they relax, at least we enjoy a lot.
In the ABS, we use several activities, like we have feeding, toileting, and also the way they relate with one another or the social skills.
What I really deal mostly is ensuring there is movement to the children, there is proper posture, and most of the children that I deal with are mostly with cerebral palsy and those with more weight. So that's why I have all these materials. I can train on posture using all those, and in these, as people come going through this, the chains, here I administer mostly what cerebral palsy is, how they are able to detect what's cerebral palsy in the early development of a child, and how to know the normal from the abnormal. And in this, I encourage children, mostly the children, to at least embrace the children in the society having the intellectual disability and cerebral palsy, to be able to embrace them and even include them mostly in the activities of daily living.
I'll need to give you a brief explanation about occupational therapy and what it entails. This is a medical profession that entails all aspects of human being. Holistically, every part of your body, mind, the way you walk, the way you do your daily activities. For example, after injury, maybe you went for surgery and then now the doctor says you need to go and see the physiotherapist or occupational therapist. Now when you come, I'll do the assessment and see the level of limit where you cannot do your activities as it was maybe previously. So from there, I'll start to retrain. It is a skill you already have lost. So for me, I'll do assessment and see this is where the limit is. So for example, you are writing and now you cannot be able to write. So I'll look for all alternatives to make you do things that cannot limit you in your daily living.
Here at the center, I cover 3 basic areas. That is feeding and swallowing, speech disorder, language disorders. So once I receive a client, the first thing that I normally test is the hearing, of which I test up to the eardrum to test whether it's okay. Maybe that is a result as to why maybe the client or maybe the child has maybe hearing impairment. I believe early intervention is the best. Once these disorders are detected early enough, they are able to be rectified. Related to speech and language, also feeding and swallowing. I don't deal with children only, I also deal with adults. For instance, all of us here, we might say that we are okay, yes, but it can happen that you go, maybe get an accident, then maybe through the accident you get head injury, and maybe the part of the brain that will be affected is related to speech, language, or maybe feeding and swallowing.
This class is called pre-vocation class. Basically, it's a transition from the foundation class. They start from the first class, stimulation, foundation, then they come to the pre-vocation class. And you see from the stimulation and the foundation, now here we come and combine the both activities. Now what they were given the stimulation class and the foundation class. And now they're able to, here they can be able to write and also read. And this is now the real life. After they have done the theory part, you also have another session whereby they water the flowers and also water some seed beds or small plants.
This is stage where we normally start from class, doing academic work for some lessons. Then we proceed to the farm. We do some farm work activities. Then by the end of the term, we can see the result. Where are these students? Are they improving? Because usually the training goes for 2 years. 2 years, the center employed these students. They become now workers. Now, when these graduated, we release those ones.
The center also has some of the members in its workforce from the students they once trained and now make a living from it.
These ones graduated last year in November 2018. They are employees of the center now. Each of them has their own job contract. They are saving their monies in their account. They pay their transport. It's amazing if they have the motivation to make it in life. They sell the produce and they distribute these products to 50 families within our community. I'm also a beneficiary for that, Madam Rachel said, and many of us here are beneficiaries of the same.
Wow, thank you very much, our viewer, for joining us on I Can Make It, your program of choice. As I told you earlier, that we have attended an exercise that has been organized by Orione Community Training Centre here at Kandisi in Ongata Rongai in Kajiado County, whereby they have organized a Disability Expo, an event that has been attended by more than 300 people. They are doing this event to sensitize the society on matters of disability. You can call us on 0717 424 866, or you can get in touch with us through our Facebook page, I Can Make It, or through Capuchin Television Network Facebook page.
They don't see anybody with disability.
They now
the disability now is not the focus. It's just the farm. And they start to ask even to the students. But now they are farmers because now they are, the first group is now, it was employed by the center. So now they are farmers. They have their contract, their salary, they are saving their money. Now people start to talk about them.
Our dream as an institution is to see an inclusive society without discrimination, and we want to work together with our community, especially children and families.
Welcome back, our viewer, and thank you for joining us on I Can Make It, your program of choice. As I told you earlier, that today in our program, we have attended a program, or rather an event that has been organized by Orione Community Training Centre at Kandisi in Ongata Rongai in Kajiado County. Let's now focus on administration and tackle a brief history of where they have come from and the challenges they have faced.
Orione Community Training Centre, or rather the Orione Community Centre, was started by the Catholic Congregation of the Sons of Divine Providence in the year 2005. The congregation has parishes, a theology school, a seminarium, and also they have this centre that is in Kandisi and a second one in Kaburugi, with a total population of 100 children and youth with intellectual disabilities. We work under the charism of our founder, who is Don Orione Luigi, who says he needs to work with the most vulnerable people in the society, and for him, children and youth with intellectual disability, each one of us needs an opportunity, and the center is all about that, giving love and opportunity to these children and youth. So we train them in the farming area, and from this we have 17 of them who have graduated and are actively working.
All the founders of different congregations, they always think how we can help poor people. For our founder, he thought that among the poor people, there is a group who is more vulnerable. Because poor are everywhere and kind of poverties are many. But for him was important, where are the most vulnerable? So he said, are people with intellectual disability. Why? Because intellectual disability can make people even to be in need of support. Some of them, they will be independent. They will be even they will be able to develop their own project in their life. But others, like a person with cerebral palsy, a person with autism, they will need always support company.
As any other organization, Orione Center has also undergone some challenges.
So the first challenge is the parents. We need to really involve them more. We need to convince them and motivate them to bring out their children. Because you see, that's where the whole journey starts. With the funding is always a challenge. Because we are working in an area that is quite special and complex. And because, let's be honest, people invest in regular education because, sorry to say, probably the community feels, or even the parents feel, that at some later part of the year, there is a return back. The children will come back to take care of their families. This is the notion that we have as a community. But it's different for them. And for this reason also, the parents are not really very convinced about paying school fees for them. So this puts us at a financial dilemma.
In social places like church and some other places. Because you will keep on, you will not concentrate until you find out where your child is. That's a major challenge. And also people, most people don't understand these children. Because some people think that, they are badly behaved children. And it's because you are failed as a parent to take good care of them. At times, you will hear some people asking you very weird questions. Like somebody can ask you,
your child is being put aside. When other children are learning, your child is being put aside. And yet I was actually paying the same amount of fees that other children were paying. So the teacher told me that, okay, I'm sharing it in confidence with you, but don't mention my name. But for me, I feel they're actually doing a disservice to you. It was just a normal school for because I actually took him there because I thought that maybe by interacting with other children, the speech would come out.
Despite the challenges, we also can't forget the support they receive from sponsors.
Now the problem is how the society answer to the need of people with disabilities. So at the end, the people is different. The person became disabled when the society put the barriers. So it's the society the one who create the disability. If there is something that we can admire in them, they are themselves. They are transparent. They will not pretend. They will not please anybody. They are themselves.
Let's be honest, people invest in regular education because sorry to say, probably the community feels, or even the parents feel, that at some later part of the year, there is a return back. The children will come back to take care of their families.
Yes.
This is the notion that we have as a community. But it's different for them. And for this reason also, the parents are not really very convinced about paying school fees for them. So this puts us at a financial dilemma, because we need to pay the teachers, we need to pay the rehabilitation team. So for this, I have a task to look for resources from outside. And we have a very good answer for this from international donors, Hiki Family Foundation and Inat Foundation from Chile. We have well-wishers also from our local community. So funding is always a challenge, because we can always do more. Our institution is open to receive help in kind from nurses, volunteer physiotherapists, so that we can give more support to our students.
Wow, thank you very much, our viewer, for joining us on I Can Make It, your program of choice. I hope today you've learned so many things from the event that I told you earlier, that we have attended an event that has been organized by Orione Community Training Centre at Kandisi here at Ongata Rongai. I have been your host, Elijah Kaka. See you next time, and may God bless you.